Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know fragrance-free review for you guys tonight. I'm going to take a look at one from the house of Ulrich Lane, and this one is called Anvers 2. Now, I already reviewed Anvers, and I'll do Lightscape and Nightscape and Aperture down the road. Apsu is the only scent that I don't have a bottle of from this house and haven't smelled. So I'll be getting to everything in the line at some point. If you want backstory on this house, please check out the Scent Safari video that I did when I first got the fragrances from Ulrich. I reviewed Anvers. Check that one out as well, the original Anvers. Today, Anvers 2. This was a fragrance released in 2007. It is Eau de Toilette and comes in 100 ml bottles only. You can grab these from Barney's or Lucky Scent. $120 is the retail on this. Good pricing for a niche fragrance. And note-wise, you're going to get bergamot, Amalfi lemon, lime, basil, cypress, pepper, and rhubarb at the top. Vetiver, jasmine, sandalwood, rose, lily, and mimosa in the base. Musk, oak moss, Virginia cedar, amber, tonka bean, vanilla, and olabinum in the base. Presentation, really simple bottle. Plastic, really lightweight plastic cap. Sprayer's just okay. It's actually not great. The Ulrich Lane bottles aren't fantastic. They're not bad. They're not going to win any awards, but I wouldn't say they're especially cheap or ugly. They're just super simple, super simple bottles. A little sticker on the bottom, but nothing crazy with Ulrich Lane bottles. And I would say this is a really good fragrance for someone who's scared of niche fragrances, because this is really wearable and just has a ton of mass appeal. The comparison that this scent seems to draw is to L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent, and I don't think that's far off. I do think there's some subtle differences I'll talk about later, but what I get out of this, it's pretty simple fragrance. At the top, I get a big blast of sweet lemon and some bergamot, a little bit of lime, big dose of tonka, and some considerable spice to this one. It's a little peppery, perhaps a little bit of green tang from the rhubarb note in this one, and then just a nice sort of mix of florals under that initial blast of citrus and tonka. It's a pleasing fragrance. I could see someone spraying this on and just really liking it, thinking it smells good. But I would say conversely, if you're a big frag head, I think you'd smell this and just be like, yeah, it's another sort of fragrance. It's also not that close in relation at all to the first Anvers. That fragrance was a very spicy, green, darker fragrance. There was leather there. There's oak moss. That's a spicy, dark fragrance. This is sort of a spiced, light fragrance. They smell completely different. Performance on this one, gotta be honest with you guys, is meh. It's EDT, right? So it is what it is, but I've smelled some booming EDTs. This is like a 6-hour scent for me with some moderate projection, but I wore this the other day and I sprayed 8 or 9 times and people really couldn't smell me. I picked up whiffs of it throughout the day, but it's just not a strong scent. To be honest with you guys, I actually think L'Homme is more powerful than this. I would say this could be a unisex scent, but this is ideally, I think, going to be a signature scent for someone who's just not that into fragrances, just wants to smell good. And then I kind of wonder if that person would be the type of person to find an Ulrich Lane fragrance or be comfortable with paying over $100 for a fragrance. The ideal situation for this one, for me at least, I would say, is to wear to work in the springtime. And I think ideally that's probably its best application. It's like a springtime work fragrance. Now, if you're looking for something similar, you can't find this, but sort of like the idea of this, I would say pick up L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. It's really similar to this. The big difference Loam to me, there's no apple in Loam, but I definitely sort of do pick up that fruity vibe. I get like a ginger apple top from Loam. And this is not that, neither the ginger or that sort of non-citrus fruit is in this fragrance. This has a straight citrus opening, and then just a big dose of florals in the middle that Loam also doesn't have. So they're different, but they do wind up smelling very similar, believe it or not. If someone were trying to talk you into purchasing this one, I think they would tell you that this is a nice, safe scent, and it's going to be a big crowd pleaser. And perhaps you will like this a little bit more than Loam. I'm not sure. I think that everyone has their own tastes. Some people might think this is a little more mature, a little more nuanced. Some people might think it's not as bracing as Loam. I think if someone were trying to talk you out of this, I think they'd say that, yeah, is safe always a good thing? Because this is safe. It's not a great performer. We've seen this before. And Ulrich Lang, if I'm being 100% honest, Ulrich Lang has much better fragrances than this. For me, of the 4 that I've smelled, this is definitely my least favorite of the 4. I don't hate this one, though. I think it's a fine scent. So that's sort of the skinny of it. Lang can and has done so much better. And I'll be honest with you guys, the best ones from this house, I haven't reviewed yet. So please stay tuned for those. I obviously don't rate fragrances that are sent to me for review, but I'm going to be honest and just say this isn't a favorite of mine. I do own Loam, and I do enjoy Loam. It's not a particularly interesting fragrance. There's something very safe and familiar about it to me that I do enjoy. I don't really wear it because a lot of people do wear it, and I just find myself wanting to wear things that are more interesting and just more unique these days. But I would say if you're on the fence between these two, for me, I think Loam's the better option. And then when you factor in the fact that this is $120, and I think you can get like 100 ml of Loam for like $60 online. Better performing, half as much money. Try and both decide which one you like better, but I think it's pretty clear cut with me. Again, this is not a bad fragrance. It's just, if this wasn't sent to me having Loam, there's no way I would buy this. And I don't reach for it that often. So just being super upfront honest with you guys. No, I haven't really loved the fragrance I reviewed the last few weeks, so hopefully that'll change next weekend. But I do have some great videos coming for you guys next week. So definitely stay tuned. I'm going to link to Ulrich Lang in the description so you guys can check out the site if you never have, and just sort of see the different fragrances that he makes, because there really are some great fragrances in this collection. And that's it, guys. I will see you later this week with more videos. I want to thank you all so much for watching. My name obviously is Maximilian.